What's up, guys? It's the Sound Alchemist here with
Gersh1,
and we're back at it again, answering your questions in another installment of For the Greater
WAAAGH.
And this time, our featured question comes from Dean H. He asks, do you guys think it is wrong to use a high-quality 3D printer to make your own GW figures? There are lots of free CAD files out there, and it's only $400 to $600 for a capable 3D printer.
Well, damn, I didn't even know you can create Warhammer figures with a 3D printer, because I've seen a lot of 3D printed figures and they look cool, but they're really big.
Yeah.
I've never seen something with as much detail as something from GW coming out of a 3D printer. But if you say there is, I want one.
Because honestly, you are gonna save a bunch of moolah. I mean, yeah, you gotta pay for the printer, and then you gotta pay for the
cartridges.
Right.
And I don't think those cartridges are cheap. Because, like, one thing I found from casting
like making
bases.
your molds and all that.
Yeah, I was like, well, why don't I just make molds of, like, the figures, right? Number one, it's going to be really hard to do that. But 3D printing fixes that by just having templates that you can download. But number two, it costs just about this. Like, you save maybe a couple bucks from actually buying it at the store, from buying the supplies from your local retailer. Because I'm not buying wholesale resin. I'm buying like resin at regular commercial value, right? So the savings, yeah, you might save $5 or something on a figure. But then you also have to think of all the time that you have to invest in it. 3D printing, casting takes forever. 3D printing just takes as long, right? Because you just...
Yeah, it's yeah.
So, should you do it? Not now. Yeah. I would say...
wait until it goes down in price.
Yeah.
If it ever does. Well, I mean, it should. Most things do.
Now, is it... morally right
to... ethical?
Is it ethical to 3D print your own Warhammer stuff?
I mean, you are playing this game, but you're not also, I guess, funding them?
Yeah, so I'm not going to answer the question. I'm just going to let you answer that for yourself. So by you 3D printing your own stuff, number one, you have to realize that you're going to make GW lose money. If you do that,
they're not going to want to put out as many things.
They can't. They won't be able to put out like, it's already bad enough that our hobby is very niche. Like, there's a niche market for us. And then on top of that, to take away from the top dog, that hurts.
Yeah.
So you would really be hurting the hobby, because companies wouldn't be able to continue to put out the content that they can. And if you do that for Warhammer 40K, which is the biggest, but then you start doing it or you're gonna start doing it for Infinity and
Pathfinder,
stuff like that.
Heroclix,
which is even smaller than Warhammer 40K, so it would hurt them even more.
Right.
So, do you want to play Warhammer 40K in 10 years? Because if you do, I would say just buy the figures.
Yeah, support them. Give them your money. Let them know how much you like it.
I'd say though, definitely go for the eBay stuff.
Yeah. I mean, it's, I guess, second hand or second market, whatever you want to call it. But somebody still has to buy it from GW to put it on there. So it's not the best. It's not the best, as I was saying, but it's a better option.
Yeah. So to wrap it up,
you decide.
Yeah. Next question comes from John Redcorn. What wrestlers would make good Primarchs?
All right, easily John Cena. He can easily be Corvin Corax, because if you know his lore, you can't see him. I think The Rock would make a very good
Angron.
I mean, big and mean.
The Undertaker would be a good.
I could see him as a Conrad Kurz.
Yeah, that's the guy I'm talking about. Yeah, we're thinking about. And then what's the Toothless Avenger? What's his name? Benoit, Chris Benoit.
Oh yeah, I think that was him.
He's the bald guy, right? No, Chris Benoit is the Wolverine.
Was he? Was that what they called him back in the day?
The Toothless Avenger, I thought, wait, who is the bald guy that was a wrestler? Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle would be like Rogaldorn or not Rogaldorn. And then Chris Benoit, I feel like would be like Space. What's his name? Lehman Russ?
Lehman Russ?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
Kane would be Karn.
Yeah, that's an easy
He wouldn't
one.
be a Primarch, he'd just be Karn.
Karn Betrayer. Who would Vulcan be?
That's a tough one. Who's black?
What was that guy's name?
Booker T?
Booker T, that's what I was thinking of.
Their characters don't fit though.
No.
Booker T is like way different.
Yeah.
But yeah. Thanks for that question.
Mm-hmm.
Next question.
This one's by Thunderspear. If the whole of the Imperium would become hippies overnight, would that save them from the Chaos Gods? No.
I don't think
so.
the hippie culture is one for progress.
You just kind of chill, man.
Yeah. It's like, no, you don't chill, because then you won't have enough energy, or you won't have what you need to defend yourself from giant greenskins. KevC00. If they're advancing the timeline, what would happen? What would you like to happen?
Ooh. Easily Tau to be number one. No, honestly, I want Farsight to play a bigger role. Maybe coming back and leading the Tau into a different direction than the Ethereals. So maybe starting like a huge civil war. And then, I don't know.
I kind of go with him in saying that if they do advance the timeline, I'm more interested in the alien timelines than I am the human timelines, because I feel with the Imperium, like there's a lot of ways you could take it, but we've talked about all of them.
Yeah.
Or the ones we'd like to see. But yeah, with orcs, I would love to see Gatskull Thraka push back the Tyranids. I would love to see the Eldar align with the Dark Eldar and the Harlequins to push an agenda. What that agenda is, I don't know. I want to find out. So yeah.
Yeah, because if you just focus mainly on the Imperium side, all we're going to get is Imperial releases, Chaos releases. You got to show the Xenos some love.
Even though they are favorites. We've noticed that in the videos too. Like, there's more views in Space Marine stuff and Imperial stuff than there is in Aliens.
Yeah. This one's by Derek Runge. What is the worst way to die in the 40K universe?
Anything that can be done to you by a Dark Eldar. The stories in novels about Dark Eldar are horrific.
Yeah, it's all about pain, keeping you alive as long as possible.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I have to agree with him on that one.
Dragon Punch 903. Can Doctor Strange take on Magnus the Red?
Ooh.
Can the Taco Supreme, the Emperor, the Sorcerer Supreme, take on Magnus the Red? What's your opinion?
Yes, especially since all the things he can do in the comics. If we're talking about the movie version, he's pretty new at this. So I don't think, he'll put up a good fight, but I don't think he could win if it's the movie. Sorry, Cumberbatch. But I think the comic ones easily has it. Because he's part of the Illuminati, he's like super smart. He's like the best sorcerer, so yeah.
I think his cape alone could take on Magnus the Red. Your turn, right?
Yeah. Oh shit, this is a long one. This one's by Goochman. With all the technology available at the time Bjorn the Fellhand fell, why the hell did they put him in such a crappy dreadnought? Why not a better one like a Leviathan?
Because GW didn't think that up back then?
Basically, yeah. They didn't have Contemptor dreadnoughts, Leviathan dreadnoughts. All these new stuff was like Forge World. Mm-hmm. And obviously GW was just focusing on what they had available.
But if you look at it from lore-wise, GW can easily say something like they were pressed for time. Mm-hmm. They needed to save his body before he passed on. Yeah. Something like that.
And they could always just say like they'll transfer his memories or something over to a better body. But again, that's looked down upon so that probably won't happen. But hey, if you can make the lore for it, go for it.
Yeah. Tony Zoo, would you guys do a tutorial of the tabletop for the uninitiated? Yeah, we could do that. We started it. We started
Was it like a year ago?
Yeah, and I made part 1. I edited part 2, didn't like it, but yeah, it ended there. We probably won't do it until the next edition.
Right, 8th edition is rumored to come out soon.
It's supposed to come out in what, 4 weeks?
Hopefully.
Well, at the beginning of the year,
yeah.
so like, but the beginning of the year is like in 4 weeks.
Ish.
Yeah, 4 weeks.
Right. This one is kind of going along the first question that we got. Caleb Weaver asks, any advice for a newcomer on saving money when purchasing the models, paint, and everything else?
Yeah, for a newcomer, take advantage of the starter packs. Buy your paintbrushes at Walmart. Buy your paint. Well, the paint matters a lot. Buy your paint either at GW or go to like a hobby store like Hobby Lobby or Michael's, and really just invest in your army. I guess like
make sure you actually like the army that you're playing. Don't pick something that's just strong or good, because then you'll lose interest in it, and then the game won't be as fun.
Yeah, what I would recommend is dive into your army. So like if you're an orc player, create a background for it. Like because the actual game itself you only play for a short amount of time in comparison to the week, right? You like 4 or 5 hours out of the week you invest in playing the game. Really, the fun part for me I've seen is the whole painting and story writing and all that kind of stuff. So invest in good paint, invest time to paint your models and really give them character.
Yeah, I'd say always buy the codex first, because this feels like you haven't officially invested entirely in it. You could always go to a different codex if you like that lore better. Because once you buy all the models, it's like, oh man, I got all this to buy. I got to build it, paint it. Like I'm never gonna get done.
Yeah.
So do it piece by piece.
Yep. If you guys have any more suggestions for a newcomer, please comment down below. Put suggestion followed by whatever topic you want to help them out with. John Redcorn says, epic question. Is Slanesh worth wiping up? Love your video, guys. The Tau Empire loves you guys. Is Slanesh wifey material? Well, she's a god, so why would you not want to marry a god?
And she is also a he, so hey, you got the best of both worlds.
That's gross. Not if you're into that. But
yeah,
she is also the goddess of pain, though. And I don't like pain.
But what is pleasure without pain?
Just pleasure.
Right.
Would I wife her up? Yes, because she's a god.
Yeah, I mean, if you've got a god at your side, you could basically do whatever, get whatever you want. So, easily yes.
Yes.
This one's by Baj Kissin. Please answer my question that I keep asking in every single video.
No, we're not gonna answer it. Just
no,
stop
sorry.
there.
How does the economic system in the Imperium of Man work?
The economic system works a lot like a feudal society, where you have
you're like serfs, the poor.
Yeah, so it's trickle down economics.
Yeah.
Basically, they believe that the head is the what is it called?
Nobles, like the
but
High Lords.
The High Lords of Terra, and then from the High Lords of Terra, you go to the Planetary Governor. The Planetary Governor has his group of cronies, and then it just keeps going down like that. And the way that the Imperium maintains power is by controlling agri-worlds and controlling the military.
Yeah, manufactorums play a big part too, because you can't have a military with no weapons, arms, bullets, etc. Yeah,
and they're in a constant state of war because it's a totalitarian
that's
regime.
What fuels their
that's
economy.
Yeah. So their economy is fueled on war. Like everything for the war effort, basically.
Basically, yeah. And you saw how well that goes for us here. So.
How bad it's gonna go.
Good, bad, whatever you want to call it.
Next question comes from Frank Emmons. Why do you think Black Templars have such little lore recently? And do you believe they will unite for one single Grand Crusade? I think Black Templars were one of those chapters that was collected a lot back in the day because it was easy to collect. They were easy to paint, and
just black and white.
Yeah, they had their cool lore, so they were in the forefront. But now that GW is investing more into other Imperial chapter or Space Marine chapters, that's why it's died down.
Yeah. But they're pretty popular still, though. We get a lot of comments for them.
Yeah. They're cool.
This one is by Luke Kelly. Do you guys think that the Khan is still alive in the webway? If so, what do you think he's been doing for over 9,000 years, and how do you think he survived?
He's just chilling. He opened up his own little surf and turf spot right next to the Eye of Terror. He's just like, fuck that mess.
He's like, I'm done chasing all these dark Eldars. Let me do what my passion is in life.
Yeah, he brings out his little, what's that giant little thing that goes...
Like the xylophone thing?
The xylophone, yeah. He just chills. No, but in reality, I don't know. We'll talk about it in the White Scars videos.
That's right.
Last question. I want to make it a good one. Colin Turner Todd. Timmy Turner. What do you think the most underappreciated or underestimated Xenos race in the galaxy is?
The Tau, easily. Because honestly, if you compare everybody, it's like the Necrons, they're a big threat. The Tyranids, huge threat. Orcs, big threat, constant threat. The Eldar, okay. The Eldar isn't much of a threat, but that's because they're not constantly fighting.
But when you think of them, you think of them like slick, like
right.
They're up to something.
Yeah, they're always scheming, conniving. And then you have the Tau. It's like, what are they doing?
Yeah, I agree. The most underestimated race is the Tau.
But that's good though.
Yeah, and I think a lot of the reason why I think they're so powerful is that they're blanks. That's going to prove to be a big game changer in the future.
They have little to no presence in the warp, so that's cool because demons don't outright attack them or try to take over their bodies and whatnot.
And you might think, oh, but it's affecting their time or their
warp travel
and all that kind of stuff. They ally with extremely potent psychers, so yeah,
they incorporate other races into them, and that's something every other race doesn't do, as far as I know.
Yeah,
because the Imperium is xenophobic AF, so Tau is they're gonna slowly climb the ladder. So yeah.
Thank you guys so much for sending the questions. If you guys want to send more questions, please comment down below with question followed by the topic that you guys want us to discuss. Don't forget to jump on over to Patreon. A simple $1 is going to give you extra Warhammer 40K videos. Well, specifically these type of videos.
Yeah. As always, we Sound Alchemist.
Gersh1.
We are One Mind Syndicate, and we are out of here.